ringside with a great crowd. We are all ready to go with another day of USWA Championship Wrestling today. Well, we got primetime Brian Lee, Don Harris, and Downtown Bruno coming in for six-man tag team action. That'll be coming up very shortly. Brickhouse Brown is here. Nightmare Danny Davis will be along. Joey Maggs is here today. Jeff Jarrett will be here, too. The Superstar, Bill Dundee, Dirty White Boy, all of them coming up today on USWA Championship Wrestling. There is a big tournament coming up for the Unified World title. We told you a little bit about that next week, and we'll tell you more about that, too. You stay with us. We got lots coming up, and you don't want to miss it. Eddie Marlin is here with me right now. Eddie, we've been talking about this tournament for several days now. This is going to be a big one, October 8th.
Yeah, you've been talking about it for several days, but I've been talking about it a long time. Every wrestler that I've ever heard of is called in. They want to participate in this tournament, and I've signed up a great list of names already.
I've got a list right here, and this is just some of them now. There are about, I don't know, 18 or 20 names on here. Let me just run some of these names down. Brian Lee, Hollywood John Tatum, Samurai, managed by Tojo Yamamoto, Don Harris, Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol, just some of the names.
Just some of them. You know, I've had calls from all over the world. A couple of guys had already called, and they already had commitments. They couldn't be here for October the 8th, but they've already issued a challenge for the new World Heavyweight Champion. That Bam Bam Bigelow, he's issued a challenge. And Steve Williams, Dr. Death, he said, I can't be there that night, but you bet your boots I want to issue a challenge to the new champion. So, you know, we've had a lot of great things at the Mid-South Coliseum, but October the 8th will top anything we've ever done there. And we've already got the tickets on sale. You can go to the outlets and get your tickets now for October the 8th. And we're just expecting a great house.
Well, we're expecting a great crowd there, no doubt about it. It's going to be a great night of action with top name stars coming in to try to take the World Unified title. And folks have been talking to me about it, and I think it's an interesting situation that it is a one-night tournament. Champion crowned that night.
We'll go in that night with no champion. We'll come out with a Unified World Heavyweight Champion that night. We'll get to see it all happen in one night.
Very good. Eddie, I know it's been a lot of hard work. Keep it up until tournament time. And remember, advance tickets are on sale already for this big one-night tournament to crown the USWA World Unified Champion. It'll be at the Memphis Mid-South Coliseum on October 8th. We're hearing from folks around the territory who say, hey, we're going to be in Memphis that night for that big night of action. So remember, tickets are available right now at all the regular ticket outlets. We've got action coming up right here in the ring. Non-title match here, but six-man tag team action. Speaking of the titles, well, I'll talk more about the titles as we go along here. Stepping into the ring right now, Ken Raper, Mad Dog, and Keith Haynes on one side of the ring, and across the way, it is going to be the Downtown Bruno-led team of primetime Brian Lee and Don Harris, a team that came out yelling and screaming, saying, left Bruno, having nothing to do with him anymore. Bruno, you're not dressed. You're supposed to be wrestling here.
I'm fixing to take my clothes off. Well, my shirt off.
Please don't.
I want you to hold my glasses and don't let anybody do anything to them. And hold my expensive wristwatch, okay, Dave? And hold it. And hold my Pirates shirt, because I'm the #1 manager in wrestling, and this is #1 tag team in wrestling, and the Pirates are the #1 team in baseball, so hold my shirt.
Would you head for the ring right now? Six-man tag team match coming up here. Downtown Bruno. His expensive watch. He's got a sticker on the back that says something about $7.95. Now,
See that, Dave? See that, Dave? This is a great three-man tag team right here. The Dream Team and Downtown Bruno. The Downtown Connection right here, baby. Jay Wood, Danny Davis, Frank Burrell, Joey Mag, Jerry Lawler, Cowabunga, Bill Dundee. It doesn't matter. You want to come and get some of this? Come on down, baby. Here it is.
you're supposed to be up there on the ring apron, Bruno. This is a six-man match, I remind you. There's primetime Brian Lee. And Don Harris doubling up on Keith Haynes. Haynes fired into the rope. Don Harris over the corner, makes the tag on Downtown Bruno. Now, Harris holds him down, and Bruno jumps up and down on him and then sits down on him. six-man tag team match here today. Oh, look at this. Brian Lee picks him up and slams Bruno down on top of Keith Haynes. And now Bruno's over to make the tag on Don Harris, who comes in.
You know, Dave, I might just go up for that tournament myself. I might try to be the heavyweight champion of the world. Of course, I'm not a heavyweight, but I'm a champion in every sense of the word. Look at me. I'm as good of a wrestler as I am a manager, brother. It's like Mama says. It be that way sometimes.
All right, downtown Bruno heading back for the ring. There's a count of 1, 2. Oh, he picks him up at the 2 count. Keith Haynes not pinned. Brian Lee picks him up and tags downtown Bruno. You know, Leah Harris brought the USWA World Tag Team belts out here and put them on the desk. They are not the champions, even though they have had those belts for a week now, because they came out here just a week ago and they stole the belts from the rightful owners, Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Gaylord. So do not be confused. The fact that they're hauling the belts around, they don't own them. They did not win them. They came out here claiming that they had quit. They were having nothing more to do with downtown Bruno, and it all turned out to be a scam so they could steal the belt.
Dave, that was what you call the downtown Bruno stump. And I can get away with it. We're the champions.
Yeah, you get away with it because you got 2 big guys standing over you there.
Because we're the champions. We've got the belt to prove it.
You've got the belts. You're not the champions. I just finished explaining that. You stole the belt.
Oh, Dave, what do you know anyway? We are the champions.
Downtown Bruno. Brian Lee, Don Harris. That's Mad Dog in there, and Ken Raper right now. We got 4 of the 6 in the ring. Now, make that 3 as they just threw Mad Dog out on the floor. Raper over to the corner. The tag made on Keith Haynes, who's coming back in. Keith makes a shot right to the throat as Don Harris and primetime Brian Lee continue to work on their opponents here. Snaps him down. Brian Lee climbs the rope. From the top rope, he takes the tag from Don Harris. Brian Lee springs, covers. All right, a count of 2. He picks him up, for heaven's sake. Come on and make a cover stick, but they won't do it. They leave Keith lying in the ring, and then Bruno. Oh, yeah. There you go. Tag Bruno. Let him get the 3 count. Hey, look out over here at the table. A couple of young men. We got to get something to the gloves. Right, baby. Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Gaylord have just stopped by the desk and have collected something that belongs to them, and on their way out, you can see them there. They're holding them up, waving bye-bye to Brian Lee and Don Harris. Yeah. Why not your belt?
What'd you do? Give our belts away?
I didn't give them to anybody. They were right here.
You're in trouble for that one.
They just...
They're in trouble for that one. Nobody takes away our belts. That Dream Team is the tag team standards of the world. For real, for now, forever. And we're going to keep those belts. We're going to get them back for those punks. They just made a real big mistake when they fought with us, baby. Believe me when I tell you that. We are the Dream Team. We're the champions. And I'm not a weasel.
Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Gaylord, the rightful owners of those belts. They got them back, and if Bruno and the Dream Team want to take them back, they're going to have to win them in the ring this time instead of stealing them. Hey, coming into the territory, big tournament coming up, and coming into the USWA again, this man right here. Take a look at Steve Kern.
Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum, the USWA presents an outstanding night of championship wrestling action. 6 straight matches, 5 main events. Opening action, Joey Mag battles the Great Samurai with Kojo Yamamoto. Special match with Gorilla Slam rules. One man must press slam his opponent to win. Missouri Tiger Jeff Gaylord battles Brian Lee with Downtown Bruno. A $2,500 challenge match features Nightmare Danny Davis against Don Harris with Bruno in his corner. In a special grudge match, no disqualification. If Brickhouse Brown wins, he gets 5 minutes with the Dirty White Girl. Brickhouse takes on the Dirty White Boy. Southern Heavyweight Championship in Evansville. Superstar Bill Dundee challenges for the title, held by Mr. Excitement Dick Slater. In the main event, lights out special challenge match, Fabulous One Steve Kern teams with Jeff Jarrett to battle Hot Stuff Eddie and Dirty Doug Gilbert. Also catch the action in Campbellsburg, Indiana, Thursday, November 8th, bell time 7:30 at West Washington High School, and be there Wednesday night at the Coliseum.
Jeffro, Wednesday night's fight night in Evansville, 400 Court Street, and we both got a big fight coming up this week because I got Mr. Excitement. He calls himself Dickie Slater, and he's got the Southern Heavyweight belt that he won off John Tatum. I got to take my hat off to you for that, brother, because that's who stole it off me. Well, I'm just going to tell you something, Dickie Slater. If you come to wrestle, that's great. If you come to fight, that's fine too, because the superstar knows how to do both, and I'm going to give it my all to get my belt back.
That's exactly right, Bill. And you talk about fight night. That's right, because Wednesday night in Evansville, there's going to be a fight. You know Eddie Gilbert? You've been back in this area a couple of months now, and you're running roughshod over anybody you think you can. Well, guys, Wednesday night it's going to come to a stop, because I'm bringing in a partner who knows how to get the job done, who knows when it's crunch time they got to get up there and fight fire with fire, and his name is Fabulous One Steve Kern. And I can just promise you fans in Evansville one thing. When we get there Wednesday night, myself and Steve Kern, we're there to take 2 guys out, Eddie and Doug Gilbert.
Brickhouse Brown is scheduled in a match right now, as a matter of fact. Want to see if we can catch him on the way to the ring, though, and maybe get him to comment perhaps on this match, but also on some other things that have been going on with him, notably with Dirty White Boy around the territory for the last few weeks. If we can catch Brick coming this way, maybe we can get a word or two about him. Remember, as Eddie said a little bit earlier, the tickets for that big tournament coming up October 8th are already on sale, so wherever you are in USWA territory, you may want to be making your plans to attend right now. A couple of USWA ring girls leading the way, and there is Brickhouse Brown headed this direction right here, greeting the crowd along the way as he heads over. And Brick, I know you've had a couple of interesting weeks here, to say the least.
Let me tell you something right now. Everybody knows that I'm the man the fans all love to hate. But I've always been the man the fans hate to love. And I am the man that you don't get enough of. Now, Dirty White Boy, you seem to have a problem. You seem to have something on your chest you want to get off. Let me tell you something. I done took care of people like you before. I came up from the Brown Place Project in Miami, Florida, to Riot City, and the toughest competition I had to face suffer when my mama sent me to the store, and I had to run home to make sure I had some change in what she sent me with. So, Dirty White Boy, I've been kicked on, scratched, punched, but now I see you trying to play for keeps. I done did a lot of things, but I've never tried to take nobody's life. And to come out here and hate me, let me tell you something, Dave Brown, I don't go for that.
Now, wait a minute. This is Brick's interview time.
You ain't got to tell him, wait. You want to get some of this, you want to get it started right now, sucker. Ain't nothing holding you back. I don't see no shackles on your feet. You want to come and get some? Yeah, just like I thought, huh? Yeah. You see what I'm talking about, Dave Brown? Let me tell you something right now, Dirty White Boy. Let me tell you one thing. You bring it hard, because I like it nasty, and I love it rough. And I don't remember the last time I got enough.
Brickhouse Brown. Coming up, Dirty White Boy will not have the opportunity to lead in a match which is going to be coming up. Be watching for that. Brickhouse Brown climbing into the ring right now and coming into the area. New and improved Twilight Zone #1. Yeah, looks like a new outfit here. Instead of the purple and yellow, it's red and blue. As Twilight Zone #1 Nebula climbs into the ring. We are set to go. Brickhouse Brown. Wasted no time. Going to work it. Off the ropes, into the ropes across the way, and with an upper arm coming off of there, Brickhouse Brown again puts the Twilight Zone down to the mat. Twilight Zone may be new and improved, but so far we haven't seen too much improvement. And I'm not sure how much of that is just failure to improve on the Twilight Zone's part, and how much of it is the fact that Brickhouse Brown is a little bit steamed over the situation with Tony Anthony, the Dirty White Boy. There's a count of 2. Can't make it stick for a 3 count. Brickhouse didn't break the cover. He tried to make it stick. Handed to Twilight Zone. He was able to break out of it. Brickhouse Brown snapped him down to the mat. He had hard on his back. Twilight Zone back on his feet, but not for long, as Brickhouse Brown smacked him. Right fist. Brickhouse Brown, meat of the midsection, as he has Twilight Zone number 1 backed into a corner. Oh, big clothesline coming off the rope. Brickhouse, the suplex, drops him backwards. Took him straight up in the air, and with the momentum and going up in the air, he just took him straight back onto the mat. Good move by Brickhouse. Oh, look out. There is Tony Anthony, the Dirty White Boy, who's back out here, just slightly away from ringside. Yeah, there you can kind of get a perspective. Tony Anthony is maybe 6 or 8 feet from ringside, walking around watching the situation. What Brickhouse has to do is remember that he is focusing on his opponent and not Dirty White Boy, and at the same time, you got to watch your back. Brickhouse inviting him into the ring. Dirty White Boy standing fast at ringside. Brickhouse in Twilight Zone, into the turnbuckle. He bounces out of there, back in the middle of the ring. Dangerous situation here for Brickhouse Brown. If he spends too much of his time thinking about Tony Anthony standing over here, somebody like Twilight Zone could beat you. There's a count of 1, 2. And, well, he's not going to have to worry about that. As Brickhouse Brown gets the 3 count, 2 minutes, 44 seconds, 2:44. And Tony Anthony turns and walks out of the area. 2:44 give the victory to Brickhouse Brown over Twilight Zone number 1 as he celebrates. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with more USWA action.
Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum, the USWA presents an outstanding night of championship wrestling action. 6 straight matches, 5 main events. Opening action, Joey Mag battles the Great Samurai with Tojo Yamamoto. Special match with Gorilla Slam rules. One man must press slam his opponent to win. Missouri Tiger Jeff Gaylord battles Brian Lee with Downtown Bruno. A $2,500 challenge match features Nightmare Danny Davis against Don Harris with Bruno in his corner. In a special grudge match, no disqualification. If Brickhouse Brown wins, he gets 5 minutes with the Dirty White Girl. Brickhouse takes on the Dirty White Boy. Southern Heavyweight Championship in Evansville. Superstar Bill Dundee challenges for the title, held by Mr. Excitement Dick Slater. In the main event, lights out special challenge match, Fabulous One Steve Kern teams with Jeff Jarrett to battle Hot Stuff Eddie and Dirty Doug Gilbert. Also catch the action in Campbellsburg, Indiana, Thursday, November 8th, bell time 7:30 at West Washington High School, and be there Wednesday night at the Coliseum.
Here, let's see referee Jerry Calhoun making his way to the ring, USWA ring girls, and here comes Joey Maggs, who is headed for the ring right now. Single match coming up against the top opponent. Joey, of course, a very fine wrestler. Here he comes his opponent right here, also escorted by USWA ring girls. Talking about Nightmare Danny Davis. Boy, this man has really made a name for himself all around the wrestling world. And steps into the ring right now to go against Joey Maggs. Superstar Bill Dundee coming this way. Bill, come on over. I'd like you to comment on this match, if you don't mind. And maybe we could get some insight into into a special aspect of it. As this match goes on, hey, nice little high-five greeting there. This should be a fine match.
Yeah, shoot, David, got two real good wrestlers out there, but, you know, it's just like everything else. Danny, I think, has a little bit of an edge because you would say he's been around a little longer, and it does show. It's like if you play football, it's your first year, you're up against a 10-year veteran. It's just, you know, so... I don't know. Joey's one heck of a wrestler, though. We'll find out in a minute.
Well, I think you have an excellent point there. Being a veteran, you just can't help but learn things along the way.
Well, there's a good drop toe hold, so here we're putting Danny over as being the veteran, and Joey's doing all the work right now. I don't know.
As we speak, yeah, Joey Maggs looking good. Hey, I want you to comment about something. This big tournament coming up October 8th for the World Unified title. The number one contender for that title is...
there's another good. There's a veteran right there. Drop toe hold, spin around all.
You're right.
Made that look easy, didn't it?
Danny comes up with
an arm bar. That's right. But talking about that big tournament...
The Southern champion is the number one contender for that belt. You held that Southern belt until just a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact.
Until John Tatum stole it off me. Then Dickie Slater looks like he beat John Tatum. So I have an interest in that because I would like to get it back.
Well, that belt is going to be defended around the USWA.
Well, there's a good move off the kid.
Dick Slater will be coming in for it, so we'll be looking for you maybe to have that belt back around your waist.
Because everybody knows around here you got the Southern belt. That puts you number one for the world belt. And if I win the world belt, that would be great. So I'd be, you know, but if I don't, I'd like to have the Southern belt. This is a good wrestling match right here.
Yes, it is. Joey Maggs hammers that arm up behind Danny Davis's back.
That was real smart. I mean, Danny was figuring the way out. He couldn't. So, I mean, people sometimes get mad at you for doing that, but why? He's got you by the arm, so that's the way out. That's the way out, right?
That's the easiest way out. You're exactly right, and it is a veteran move.
There's another good move right there. I don't know what's back down. But Joey's holding his own.
You know. Yeah, he is. Joey's looking good so far in the match, being a young wrestler, but he is
they used to say that about me one time, Dave. They used to say, that Dundee's doing good, a young wrestler.
Now we say the tough veteran.
Yeah. I never quite know what that means, Dave, when you say that, the tough veteran, but I guess it means well.
Well, when we say it about you, we mean it complimentary, I must say.
Thank you.
Danny Davis with a headlock on Joey Maggs. Joey now has put in some fine wrestling action himself, even though Danny Davis certainly has more experience. Joey Maggs, former half of the USWA Southern Tag Title team. So he is certainly a fine wrestler in his own right.
He sure is. Here we'll see what happens out of this. Well, there's a good move. Hip toss, outsmarted him.
Nice move. You don't.
What wrestling's all about, Dave, I think, is a kind of like physical chess. On paper, Danny has the advantage because you would say he's been around longer, but he's only got to make one mistake. Joey capitalized on it, and that's how it wins or loses. And, you know, so Joey can win this. I mean, you know, he's not out of the ballpark yet.
I think that's an excellent point. Yeah, it only takes one mistake, and many times that's what will win or lose a football game, a baseball game, a basketball game, or a wrestling match.
Now, there he went to the well one time too often. Danny, you know, he got him on the first time, but Danny's not going to fall for that too many times. So, you know, like we said, though, it's one heck of a wrestling match.
That's true, and I think, talking about the mistake, I suppose that's one thing about being the veteran and having the most experience. The man with the least experience would tend to be the one who would make the mistake.
There's a good move right there.
Took him down, small package. Yep. Thought he might have had him there. He was able to get a 2 count only. Joey Maggs back on his feet.
It's just like this tournament we were all talking about coming up in Memphis. On paper, I guess, Lawler's the number. He had the belt, so you got to put him in the box seat, right?
That's right.
But he had it and lost it, so you never know.
Oh.
That was a good move there, too. Now Danny's starting to tell a little bit here. Danny's got a little more experience. He's being more aggressive.
Gets a 1 count. Joey Maggs able to break out of it. Joey with good upper body strength. He was able to break that cover there.
Yep. I think Danny's starting to tell now the experience with Danny here. See, you pace yourself as you get a little more experience. You know, when you're young, you just gung-ho and charge in there, and you kind of get tired. But Danny paced himself. He looks like he's paced himself real good here.
He got the 2 count, couldn't make it stick for 3. Again, he was very close to having a victory in this match, but Joey Maggs still alive against Danny Davis. Oh, yeah. Nice move by Joey Maggs.
A good drop kick, too. Now he needs to cover him real bad. Hook that leg, Joey. There you go. Now he's trying. Well, he's trying. You've got to give him A for effort, right?
He is trying. Didn't get the leg hook quite well enough and able to get enough of his own body weight over the shoulders of Danny. Oh, look at that.
He went for a drop kick. Boston Crab.
Boston
I haven't
Crab.
seen this move in a long time.
May have to give it up.
Them big, strong legs of Joey.
Wow.
He may have him here. No, whoa, wait.
Look at this. Look at them reverse each other. He got him.
Right, well,
he got him, boy. What a display of athletic ability by the both of them. First, for Joey to be able to break out of the Boston Crab, and then to reverse each other like that.
See how this goes on sportsmanship. I mean, ball games, you have a winner, boxing matches, wrestling matches, and it was just experience, Danny. Just, you know, it was real good.
Well, you're right. Here's Danny right here. All right, Bill wants to shake hands with him. I'd like to get Danny over here for a comment, if I could. Danny, congratulations. Great athletic maneuver we just saw right there.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. You know, before I get started, Joey, come here. Come here. I like that kid. That kid's got a lot of spunk in him. I like him. He's going to be a good athlete. Come here, Joey. You know, I've only been here a few weeks, and I've seen a lot of tough competition. I've been watching your career. I know you hadn't been in a wrestling profession for a long time, but today you impressed me, and I want to shake your hand. Thank you, sir. You know, I don't know who you travel with, who you go up down the highway with to make all the towns. I don't know who you train with in the gym, but I've always been the tag-oriented type person. If you need someone to guide you, to maybe help you further along your career, Danny Davis is available. I'd like to spend some time with you. I like it. You got a lot of spunk, a lot of fire, and I think one day you're world championship material. These fans are behind you, and I like that.
High praise from Danny Davis. All right, now look out here. Look out. Here's Doug Gilbert and Sam Bass Lowe over here. Don't come out starting trouble now.
Danny,
I don't want to talk to you.
give me a break. You mean you're going to tell me you're going to help this nothing-happening, pizza-eating Italian boy?
I don't want to talk to you.
You will be talking to him, Danny Davis, because that's what he's out here for. You listen to me?
Get out of my face, you nothing-happening jerk, you.
Hey, Danny, it seems to me that you don't want to remember. What about 2 years ago? What about in Birmingham, Alabama? What about in Dothan, Alabama? What about in Pensacola, Florida?
Okay, no, I remember you. You're right. You and I did spend some time together, but the only reason you spent time with Danny Davis was because your stinking brother didn't have time for you.
No, hold on one second. It seems you don't want the people to know. They knew there was a nightmare Danny Davis, a nightmare Kenny Wayne, and there was also, look right here, Danny Davis. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
There was a nightmare Doug Gilbert.
That's
you took me under your wing, and you told me you'd make me a winner, and I listened to you. And you did it. I was a winner, but I don't see this, but I do see one thing. I've got a match coming up with you, and I guess we'll see how much the teacher taught the student.
Well,
We'll see.
if that's the way you feel, then I guess, yeah, you're right. We will see.
All right.
Wait.
Eddie Gilbert.
I just happen to be listening back here. Just happen to be back over here. Listen to this.
Yeah,
My brother's exactly right. You've turned on him. Now you're a traitor. You really showed the Gilbert family really what you think of us now, Danny Davis.
did that.
My friend, what I've got right here, buddy, and I'm going to let Mr. Dave Brown keep this as a check for $2,500. I say you can't beat my brother, okay? If you can, $2,500. I'm going to leave it with Dave Brown. Right there, Dave. Let's see you do it.
$2,500. All right.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Like I said, I like this kid right here. He's a lot more of a man than you'll ever be, and I'll bet you money before it's said and done with, Dave Brown's going to be handing me that $2,500 check.
Danny Davis, Joey Maggs, great match they had here today. The $2,500 challenge right here. Doug Gilbert, Danny Davis. If Danny can beat Doug Gilbert, he gets the check. We'll be back with more in a moment. USWA Championship Tournament, which is coming up, and one of the participants in that is someone who is well known worldwide, who has a wrestler who's been picking all over the world. Here he comes right here, the Imperial Tojo Yamamoto with Samurai waving that Japanese flag, and Tojo.
David Brown, you have lots of weight here, you. How old are you? 17?
No, I'm not that old, Tojo.
Every place I go, everybody asks me, how old David Brown? I said, maybe David Brown, maybe 70 years old.
Come on, I'm not near that old. What I want to talk about, I want to give you the opportunity to talk about this big tournament coming up for the world belt.
Yes, David Brown, I brought Samurai for one reason.
for the world tournament, unified tournament. And then you know that Samurai is, I predict Samurai is going to be the world unified champion. That's all I have to say. And I'm going to show you how Samurai is going to eliminate all of them one by one. Right now in the ring. I will show you in the ring.
Wait. Well, Tojo, I appreciate you stopping by to talk, but you don't have a match right here now. We just wanted to let you talk a little bit about it. No, we've got another match scheduled.
What you mean? I wrestle. Why don't you respect me? I wrestle. I'm going to show all the people that what Samurai will do with the origin.
We have respect. We have another match.
What you mean? You respect me. I'm the
Hey, shut the door! Shut the door!
Hey, you respect me. That's all. You respect me.
Tojo apparently thought that he had a match booked here after he and Samurai came out and said a few words. They don't. We've got another match, and that's what Eddie Marlin is explaining to a very agitated Tojo. Tojo, watch that kendo stick. And Samurai's, I have no idea what he's saying, but he's speaking in Japanese to Eddie Marlin. Eddie is saying, hey, you got to take it on out. Now, Tojo, with that kendo stick, pulling it back, threatening Eddie Marlin. That's a good way to get a $1,000 fine very, very quickly. Eddie, not quite so gently asking Tojo Yamamoto to take Samurai and head on out of here. Tojo yelling and screaming. Had no respect at all. To the cries of Weasel, that lets you know downtown Bruno is back in the area. Lou Fabiano, the New York Brawler, is stepping into the ring, and his opponent across the way, Jeff Jarrett, stepping up onto the ring apron right now. One fall, 10-minute time limit match. Jeff Jarrett will have to be considered the favorite here, going against Lou Fabiano, the New York Brawler.
Well, Dave, I'm out here doing a little bit of observation. I'm doing a little bit of scouting. I may have the New York Brawler come into my downtown connection one day in the future if he puts on a good match here and has a good showing against Jeff Jarrett. But mainly, I'm out here to watch Jeff Jarrett because, you know, he's one of the big thorns in my side, one of the big pains in my neck. Because him, Frank Morrell, Jeff Gaylord, and Danny Davis have all got together and tried to be like a bunch of big superheroes trying to knock down Brian Lee and Don Harris, the Dream Team, and myself. Well, they're not going to do it. Frank Morrell's beat me up. Jeff Jarrett's beat me up. Gaylord and Jarrett have gotten together, and they beat up my Dream Team on occasion. Oh, Danny Davis has got in there and cheated, and refereed, done this and that, trying to do things against the downtown connection and the Dream Team. But the bottom line is this, brother. It's all fixing to come to an end. Now we've got a big series of Gorilla Slam matches. You must press your opponent in order to win the match. And brother, that's going to be Jeff Gaylord against primetime Brian Lee. And we all know that Brian Lee is not only the best-looking man in professional wrestling, he's the biggest and the strongest. And Gaylord, you're finally going to find out what it's like to get Gorilla Slam. And downtown Bruno is going to laugh all the way to the bank. And as far as Danny Davis is concerned, a punk like that keeps interfering and messing around. He's going to have to deal with Don Harris because the Stomper likes to stomp people. He didn't get that name by accident, Dave Brown. And something else, you got a punk like Frank Morrell. He's a referee. He's a washed-up, retired, has-been wrestler. And he's going to come out and want to get me in the ring. He's going to come out and want to mess with me, punch me, hit me, interfere. Well, Dave, you find out what happens to Frank Morrell. I get him in the ring and show him that downtown Bruno is the newest, great professional wrestler and possibly a future heavyweight champion. What do you think, Dave?
Well, I think you've insulted just about everybody here today, and the way you tell it, you have some truth in there, but not all of it is the truth. For instance, I think you have to tell the truth in that Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Gaylord won the USWA World Tag Team titles fair and square. Your team came out and stole them. Jeff and Jeff came out today and took those titles back. They're the rightful owners, and they are the USWA Tag Team Champions. You're right about the Gorilla Slam matches, which are coming up. But not only is Brian Lee big and tough, Jeff Gaylord, the Missouri Tiger, a former University of Missouri football player, and one with a mind of his own, I must say, is big and tough, too. That makes for a good match, but it's certainly not a given that your man Brian Lee is going to be the winner walking out of there.
Well, Dave, let's put it this way. You've known me for quite a few years now. I've always dealt with nothing but champions, nothing but winners. And, brother, You know that I managed Jeff Gaylord. I was his manager, and I fired him. I fired him from the Downtown Connection because to me he was not a winner. To me he wasn't good enough. He wasn't downtown material. Now Brian Lee, one half of the great Dream Team, the rightful tag team champion, is a great wrestler, a great athlete, and you know what? I didn't fire him, and I'm not planning to. Wait a minute, look at that. Come on, Louie.
Count of 3 right there. Well, I guess that may disqualify Lou Fabiano, the New York Brawler, for being part of the Downtown Connection.
No, it doesn't, because Jarrett, just like always, he cheated. He had the tights. That makes me mad.
There was no cheating.
Get out of here.
It was a nice, clean pin, in spite of what Downtown Bruno says. Jeff Jarrett gets the victory, and here are the USWA World Tag Champions right here, Jeff Gaylord and Jeff Jarrett.
Dave, let me tell you something. Feels good to have our belts back. Brian Lee, let me tell you something. You're not man enough to wear these belts, and you also must be brain damaged to go sign a gorilla press slam match with me, baby. You know what that means? That means you got to lift 266 pounds over your head and press slam me to win. But those little buggy whip arms of you can't do it. I don't think a crane could either. So, buddy, you better be ready to get pressed so high your nose is going to bleed.
Yeah.
Ah!
The Gorilla Slam match coming up. Jeff Jarrett.
I believe the Tiger's fired up. All I got to say is Dick Slater's the new Southern champion, and I'm looking forward to getting a shot at him. Thank you, Dave.
Right, very good. Jeff Jarrett, Jeff Gaylord, your USWA World Tag Team Champions. Back with more action when we return.
Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum, the USWA presents an outstanding night of championship wrestling action. 6 straight matches, 5 main events. Opening action, Joey Mag battles the Great Samurai with Tojo Yamamoto. Special match with Gorilla Slam rules. One man must press slam his opponent to win. Missouri Tiger Jeff Gaylord battles Brian Lee with Downtown Bruno. A $2,500 challenge match features Nightmare Danny Davis against Don Harris with Bruno in his corner. In a special grudge match, no disqualification. If Brickhouse Brown wins, he gets 5 minutes with the Dirty White Girl. Brickhouse takes on the Dirty White Boy. Southern Heavyweight Championship in Evansville. Superstar Bill Dundee challenges for the title, held by Mr. Excitement Dick Slater. In the main event, lights out special challenge match, Fabulous One Steve Kern teams with Jeff Jarrett to battle Hot Stuff Eddie and Dirty Doug Gilbert. Also catch the action in Campbellsburg, Indiana, Thursday, November 8th, bell time 7:30 at West Washington High School, and be there Wednesday night at the Coliseum.
Yeah, all the people in Evansville, Indiana are so happy right now. They got the Southern Heavyweight Champion, Dick Slater, coming to their town to wrestle Superstar Bill Dundee, and then they've got their boy. They got their boy, Jeff Jarrett, who wants to call himself a man, who wants to step into the ring with me, a true man, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, and my brother Doug. And what have you got to do? You've got to go get on a telephone. You've got to go out of the state. You've got to go out of the area. You've got to call the Fabulous One, Steve Curry. A man has kicked everybody's butt in this area, has took names. With one person, he's not going to take the name as mine, and my brother here is going to make sure Steve Kern does not get a hold of me. Steve Kern, you think you're a real fabulous one? You must not know what happens when you mess with Hot Stuff. You get burned! You get burned! Jeff Jarrett, you want to prove to me that you're a man? When you get in the ring, you get with me. Let's see if you can fight.
This should be some kind of match we got coming up for you right here. Jerry Calhoun on his way to the ring. There are the USWA ring girls, and look right there, the superstar, Bill Dundee, climbing up onto the ring apron. Across the way, escorted by Dirty White Girl, is Tony Anthony, the Dirty White Boy. Anthony against Bill Dundee, main event at any arena, anywhere, and you got it right here today on USWA Championship Wrestling. Tony Anthony taking off the vest that he wears, handing it out to Dirty White Girl. Bill Dundee removing the warm-up suit. That sequin jacket and jumpsuit that he wears. Handing that out of the ring, and as soon as that is all done, we are set to go. Jerry Calhoun says, let's go. Dundee against Tony Anthony. Down to the mat goes Tony Anthony. The Dirty White Boy finds himself quickly on the mat, and very quickly he's over to the side, puts a foot outside, over the bottom rope, Referee immediately calls for a break, and as Bill himself said in commentating on an earlier match, fans don't like to see that, but boy, that is a smart move. And Bill would, I'm sure, agree even that his opponent made a smart move in that particular case. Tony Anthony, the dirty white boy. He's tough, he's mean, he'll do something illegal like yank hair, which he just did. Bill Dundee sent him into the rope. Oh, Anthony, big, powerful wrestler, powers Dundee down to the mat and wraps his hand around his throat, choking him. Anthony goes to the rope, springs off of there all the way across the ring, but Dundee, one of those veteran moves that Bill talked about a little bit earlier, he saw him come and moved out of the way. That's all he had to do. Tony Anthony hit the mat. Bill trying to take advantage of that mistake right now and convert it to a victory. Couldn't do it in that particular case. Tony Anthony slides out of the ring. Dirty white boy conferring with the dirty white girl over here in the corner. Meanwhile, in the ring, the superstar, Bill Dundee, waits for it. Anthony back into the ring right now. Dirty white girl is saying, come on, you got him. Not yet, he doesn't. Couple of rugged individuals here. And dirty white boy Tony Anthony and the superstar Bill Dundee. Bill Dundee with a grab right in that place where the shoulder joins whatever that is, the backbone, I guess. No, it joins the shoulder blade, that little area. He just grabbed that, grabbing one of those nerves in there and putting on some pressure. Oh, my goodness. Tony Anthony with a big forearm hammered Bill Dundee across the back. Bill ducks under, round behind, dirty white boy. Oh, referee gets a kick from Tony Anthony. Anthony was trying to break the hold that Dundee had and ends up kicking the referee instead. Look at this dirty white girl. Oh, gonna jab Dundee with a handle of that whip she carries around. Dundee ducked, and Tony Anthony got hit instead. Look out, here comes Eddie Gilbert out with the folding metal chair, hammers Dundee. Jerry Calhoun sees what's going on, can't do anything about it, but he has called for the bell. This match is over. That's not any consolation to Bill Dundee right now. It's 2 against 1 as Eddie Gilbert comes in here and jumps him. Oh, my goodness. Anthony smashed him with that folding metal chair, and it looks like it popped Bill's forehead open when he hit him with that chair. What? Eddie Gilbert has just nailed referee Jerry Calhoun. I mean, there was no accident at all. Eddie Gilbert just smashed Jerry Calhoun, and now Brickhouse Brown is out. Here comes Sam Bass Lowe, bringing the camera. Hold the camera, he says. I'm not going to hold the camera. You can leave it here if you want to. Doug Gilbert is out. He's smashing Bill Dundee. Eddie Gilbert with that metal chair folded up. Tony Anthony working on Brickhouse Brown. And now the dirty white girl is in the ring. Well, what are they doing? They've got Brickhouse. Oh, they've got him sitting in a chair. Dirty white girl. Here's Danny Davis in to help. He grabs Doug Gilbert, but dirty white boy smacks him. Meanwhile, dirty white girl continues to work on Brickhouse Brown. I can't see exactly what she's doing from here. Yeah, you've got a better shot of it there. Let's see. Maybe I can. Oh, she's putting makeup all over it. For heaven's sakes. Brickhouse Brown knocked out by Tony Anthony. As the action continues in here, the referee has been hammered first, I think accidentally, by Tony Anthony. Yeah, I think you ought to take a picture of that, Sam Lowe. Oh, my goodness. Well, they've got Brickhouse. They've got him all painted up with eyeshadow and lipstick, and they've got that's that blonde wig on him. Here's Eddie Marlin coming out, trying to clear this out of here. Eddie Marlin getting in between Eddie Gilbert and Danny Davis. Danny has been knocked off his feet. He's over in the crowd over here. And now there goes Eddie, Doug Gilbert, dirty white boy, dirty white girl, and Sam Bass Lowe. They leave. Yeah, Eddie Marlin says, get that off of his head, for heaven's sake. Now, They're attending to Brickhouse Brown right now. Jerry Calhoun trying to help him out. Calhoun himself a victim of Eddie Gilbert and the dirty white boy. Danny Davis lying on the floor over here. Let's take a break. We will be back here. We'll check time and all of that and be back with you in just a moment. And that match had been scheduled for an expiration of time match, but given all those things that went on right there, there is no way that match is going to continue right here. Bill Dundee is the winner of it by technical loss, as Dirty White Boy was ruled the loser with all that interference and the referee getting kicked and punched and all of that. USWA ring girls are escorting T.D. Steele to the ring area right now, and across the way, well, the Imperial one. Tojo Yamamoto is bringing in Samurai. Samurai waving that flag of Japan, the rising sun. Steps into the ring right now. T.D. Steele, boy, he feels like, I guarantee, that he's the favorite in this match. He always steps in there with plenty of confidence. He is going against a rugged wrestler, let me tell you, who has wrestled all over the world in Samurai. You put Tojo Yamamoto in his corner, and you have got a formidable wrestler, let me tell you. Samurai with a hip toss. Takes Steele over to the ropes. He just kind of halfway climbed up the ropes and then came down with that big chop and drove TD to the mat. Samurai, oh, look out, throws T.D. Steele through the rope, down on the floor. Tojo Yamamoto with a kendo stick, smacking T.D. Steele with it down here on the floor, while the referee is telling Samurai, you got to stay back and let him in the ring. Meanwhile, he couldn't see that behind his back, Tojo is hammering him with that kendo stick. Boy, I tell you, Samurai, as if he weren't tough enough by himself. You put Tojo, and not only Tojo, that stick. Samurai picks up T.D. Steele. Now he's got him up in the air. Just kind of kept him rolling and quick slammed him down to the mat near the center of the ring. Jerry Calhoun right there, the referee, watching things. Samurai says, come on, get up. I think that's what he said. Whatever he said it in Japanese. This is a one-fall match, a standby match. Tojo, oh my goodness, he just hammered again with that kendo stick, smacking T.D. Steele while the referee's back is turned in there. Tojo was out earlier. He thought that Samurai had been booked in a match here today. He had not. But the promoter quickly put this match together, given the way the previous match ended up. It was felt wise not to continue that one, even though it had been billed as expiration of time. Count of 2, 3. Samurai has just got himself a victory here. So a most impressive debut and return to this area for the Imperial one, Tojo Yamamoto. As his charge, Samurai gets a victory rather handily over T.D. Steele. T.D. Steele left lying there in the ring. Tojo, there goes Samurai as Tojo leads him back out to the dressing area. Jerry Calhoun, the referee, following alongside. T.D. Steele making his way out of the ring. Boy, he was in there for about 2.5 minutes. But that 2.5 minutes constituted a very, very long day today. And as we said during the match, not only against Samurai, but against Tojo and that vicious kendo stick that he carries around with him, too. Well, that's the action right there. We have had all kinds of action here today. Brian Lee, Don Harris, and Downtown Bruno got a victory in their 6-man tag team match, but they lost the belts. It was just as well because they had stolen the belts from their rightful owners, Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Gaylord, last week. Well, Jeff Gaylord and Jeff Jarrett now have the belts back. That's where they belong. They are the USWA World Tag Team Champions. Also, Brickhouse Brown got a victory. Nightmare Danny Davis defeats Joey Maggs in an excellent match. Jeff Jarrett got the win. Bill Dundee, a technical winner. And that match, Samurai gets the win. We are all out of time. We hope you'll join us next week for more. Until then, I'm Dave Brown. So long, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.